The city of Kalamazoo declaring a local state of emergency amid the coronavirus pandemic.
But it's not to help them tackle the virus. Instead, it's to help them prevent mass St. Patrick's Day parties in the city because there were a lot of events scheduled for this weekend. Our Lauren Edwards joins us live outside of KDPS to explain. Lauren?
Doug and Annie, Chief Carrie Ann Thomas took the podium at headquarters behind me about a few hours ago, and she talked about how there traditionally are large crowds gathering to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which, as we all know, is early next week, but it's typically the weekend before that people celebrate. And so sometimes, thousands of people come out, but they are especially concerned about this happening this year for a few reasons. The first one being that the governor has banned all gatherings of 250 people or more. And on top of that, because universities have canceled classes, they believe the crowds could be even bigger this year than years past. So that's why she declared a local state of emergency meant to help officers control the potentially large crowds and minimize their own risk.
Biggest factors is our first responders who have to respond into these large crowds and have had to do so every year are now being exposed to something that we don't know. And let's say a week down the road we have an exposure, we have someone who has tested positive. Now I could have 20% of law enforcement strength not available to service to this community. So it's very important that we limit their exposure, so eliminate the large crowds, they wear their personal protective equipment, and we do everything we can to mitigate their exposure because we need all of them to help us.
Now, Chief Thomas went on to say that there will be a police zone in effect. We do not know where. They're keeping that under wraps with KDPS, but officers will be checking IDs and only legal residents will be allowed into that zone. And she also says that other local departments and agencies will be assisting them and that they will help those departments if the crowds move to another jurisdiction. So again, there is a local state of emergency going on here in Kalamazoo, and it's all in regards to the St. Patrick's Day festivities, which may or may not be happening this weekend, but they do want people to know that police will be out and about and keeping an eye on everyone and potentially growing crowds. Reporting live here in Kalamazoo, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
All right, thank you for that, Lauren.